No water.
Okay, so this is going to be awkward, but let's just push through it and get to the end, and then we can all go our separate ways and be fine. So, for those of you that don't know me, you probably know that I have an exceptional talent for overcomplicating the most simple idea, and it was no exception when Rob nominated me for the Ice Bucket Challenge. Cheers, Rob. For anyone that just thought the Ice Bucket Challenge was about pouring a bucket of ice water over your head and having a laugh on YouTube for a little bit, here's what it is. You either donate £100 to the ALS Association, or you pour that ice water over your head as a forfeit and you donate just £10. Either way, you still donate. Some of you may have seen Pamela Anderson posted a boycott of her nomination on the grounds that the ALSA test on animals. Now, the tweet came through really without any solid evidence behind it and made some quite extreme claims of the kind of animal testing that they do. The ALSA did respond and release a statement, and in the statement it does list the kinds of animals that they do test on, but they also deny that they test outside of any kind of regulation or legality. So that leaves me in a difficult position. They do admit to testing on animals, but not to that sort of extreme. I honestly can't decide if I do support animal testing. It's an issue for me in that either way, regardless of regulation, it is cruel and it is painful in a lot of cases. But I can see the necessity, I can see why it exists, and I can see that alternatives may not yet be fully developed. I did a bit of reading, and I came across one article which I found really very useful in this case, and I think it's worth a read if you are in my position, if you want to take part in this this challenge, but you can't decide if you support it on the grounds of animal rights. It is from a blog called Nerdiness. Nerdiness. I'll write it underneath so you can see it and you don't have to try and understand that. The article itself is called Currently Necessary Evil, a vegan's view on the use of animals in neuroscience research. Brilliant, sounds just like what I'm after. It's written by a PhD student in neuroscience trying to work through their own ethical dilemmas with what they do. The article goes through a lot of the history of animal testing and the types of animals that are used, and tries to talk about the regulations that exist. But importantly, the end summarises why the animals are used. And it talks about the use of animals throughout human history as necessity. The use of animals for work, for transport, and for food, whether or not any of those three things are necessary anymore, and how they were before we had alternatives. And it talks about animal testing in the same sort of way. At the minute, this blogger says that yes, it is still necessary. Alternatives are up and coming, but currently we still need to test on animals, which is unfortunate. I see what they're saying, and I agree with a lot of it. I don't know if I still can support, though. I don't feel comfortable in that, so I have come up with my own way of doing this. For my nomination, I have done 3 things. The first is to check up on my organ donor status, and all of this is going to go somewhere useful if it's needed and when it can be taken, which, if they're around, is not right now, thank you very much. Secondly, I looked for an alternative charity to give my £10 to, because I'm a cheapskate and I'm not going to give anyone £100 right off the bat, might in the future. I've found the Dr. Hadwin Trust, and their main aim is to fund replacements to animals in biomedical research. This is exactly the sort of thing I'm looking for here. So animal testing may be necessary at the minute, but we can fund research into alternatives and to try and push forward from that necessity. So I'll be keeping an eye on them and hopefully donating again to them in the future, I think, if it's a cause that seems worthwhile. I've listed their website underneath, so again, if anyone's in this position, you can check them out and see if that's something you would like to support. Finally, the last thing I did. Neuroscience, to an outsider, seems to be quite fiddly and difficult and in need of maybe some help. So I tried to look into ways I can support neuroscience advancements without donating to charities I can't be sure of. And one thing I came across was the MRC Brain Bank. They are developing a system to make brain donations or brain tissue donations easier and to help donors understand the commitment better. So it's not actually up and running yet. It is an organisation that exists, but in response to taking donations, you still have to go directly through hospitals or medical schools and have personal contacts. I think this will be a really great system if this gets up and running, and it should hopefully make it a much wider appreciated thing. So I will be keeping an eye on that, and I hope that some of you will too, and I'll post that link underneath. So that's my 3 things, and I think I have hopefully justified not pouring water over my head. I hope it's not too controversial. I hope I haven't upset some of you on any level. I'm going to nominate no one, and all I'm going to say is that why don't you just go and do something good on the back of this video, and maybe share what you've done with everyone as well. That's it, I guess. See ya.